There was this little boy. He had been abandoned at birth. He had been labeled invalid at birth. By now, he was almost 5 years old. And in Ukraine, when you turn 5 years old, oftentimes you are transferred to another orphanage. Sometimes those orphanages are not good. I told my friends who had adopted about him. I told all these people about him, and nothing. And I kept praying to God, help me to find a family for him. And there was this part of me that was thinking, I wonder if this is going to be one of those unplanned adoptions. God, do you want us to adopt? But no, I've already adopted 4 children. And if God wanted me to adopt, he would have to make it excessively and extremely obvious. Well, he made it obvious, all right. This little boy lived in an orphanage that was really remote, but somebody happened to call me and say, hey, there's this orphanage in Ukraine. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same orphanage that Alec's in. They need gifts for Christmas. Now it's about Thanksgiving time, but thank goodness their Christmas is actually in January. But at the time we had no money. And yet a miracle happened. One day, as I was just praying about these gifts for these 300 orphans, I was backing out of my garage with my car and I couldn't move. Why? Because there were 5 large boxes of gifts that somebody just happened to think that I might figure out something to do with those little toys that somebody was about to throw out. There were enough toys in those boxes to be able to supply for 300 little orphans over in Ukraine. So I pack up the boxes. It didn't make it for Christmas. It didn't even make it for January. But what did I know? I knew that this little boy's birthday was February 26, 2006. I just then said a prayer to God as I was putting those gifts in. I said, please let this little boy, Alec, just know somewhere that somebody loves him and somebody is sending him a gift. So I put everything in this one box, which was one of the 5 boxes that had been delivered to my door. And as I was taping up the box, I was like, Lord, if you want us to adopt this child, you need to make it very, very obvious to me. And I was just praying and wrapping up the box and taping up the box. And at that point, I looked down at the box, and on the box were the numbers 22606. This was Alec's birthday, February 26th of 2006. God had sure made it obvious, and we ended up adopting him, and he's now our son.